Hey guys, I got one I wanted to talk to you about, and I think you all are probably going to find it just as interesting as I did. Just finishing up something right now, real quick. I didn't expect this to jump on so fast. Okay. Um, this happened in Georgia. Sherry Schwader and Lothar Schwader, 77 years old, was the male. She was 69 years old. It's going to be in Lexington, Georgia, August 19th, 2009. Waning crescent is the moon phase, and the animals blamed, of course, is pack of dogs. Paramedics who came to the grisly scene Saturday morning found the bodies with dog bites present. There was numerous bites at a gruesome scene. There was dogs around the bodies that were not aggressive. Remember, were not aggressive when the paramedics arrived. The paramedics said the dogs were not aggressive. There was medium-sized dogs there. They said they were mixed breed dogs. They'd been running loose for a long time in the town, and people have known about them for a long time and had caused no trouble. Adam Goldfarb, spokesperson for the Humane Society of the U.S., said, "This kind of attack is extremely rare. You are more likely to be killed by a bolt of lightning." A man that owns a house at the end of the street has had many encounters with this pack of dogs that was blamed to have done this. This man, in fact, even spoke to the Oglethorpe County Sheriff's Department and Captain Shalon, and he stated, "These dogs have never been aggressive. I do not believe these dogs are the culprits. They have never been mean to anybody or anything." Authorities dismissed his claim. Of course, it doesn't fit their narrative. Authorities say the dogs were aggressive whenever they tried rounding them up. Imagine that. All of a sudden we go from non-aggressive dogs by the paramedics, the people that live in the town that seen them running around for a long time, and then you've got the guy that feeds them and, feels sorry for them, waters them, feeds them. He says never aggressive. But then all of a sudden the authorities are saying these dogs are aggressive. We're starting the agenda here. Authorities believe Sherry was on a walk and attacked and killed. The autopsy report does not specify the type of animal that killed her. It just says died from unknown animal attacks. Well, we're all getting pretty familiar with that being the cause of death. Now remember what they say here. They believe that she went on a walk and was attacked, okay? I found a lot of this interesting. I like finding these loopholes. They're actually not that hard to find. They believe her husband went to find Sherry and was also attacked. So she goes on a walk. Then her husband goes to find her and he's killed. But here's the deal. They say they were killed around 3 a.m. So she goes for a walk in the evening and her husband waits till 3 a.m. in the morning to go look for her. I don't believe that. They said that there were signs of a fight in the area the two bodies were found. There were shoe prints, which were his, and there were also large paw prints in the mud. One of the deputies stated it looked as if the dogs were walking on their hind legs, bipedal, and he said it was very weird to the size of the prints. He said these prints were huge. He had never seen dog prints this big. So, we'll get to that here in a minute. We'll come back to that. 11 dogs, 5 puppies were seized that night. After the dogs were seized, they took the dogs. They done their necropsies. They done their DNA swabbing. They looked for blood on the animals, fecal matter, etc. All those dogs came back normal. Nothing they'd done wrong. But they still keep the dogs, okay? They go back out and they apprehend 20 cats. That's laughable. I mean, they go out and get 20 cats. So there's no blood on the cats, and the cats were tested and they hadn't been in any blood. I don't know if cats are getting vicious now or what. But anyways, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, the GBI, they were brought in, And this is what they said. After they're blaming the dogs, now they say, well, man, it wasn't the cats. So, it could have been a black bear. And then they come back and say, well, it couldn't have been black bears because there's none of those in the area. And plus the bite marks, scratch marks, and the attack did not match the criteria for a black bear or even a bear attack. So, then none of the dogs that were seized, and this is going to make a lot of you mad, there were 16 dogs seized in all, 20 cats, and 5 puppies. Okay? Out of all those animals that were seized, none of them exceeded 40 pounds. Okay? None of these dogs exceeded 40 pounds. So now they're talking about, okay, the deputy says, well, man, these dogs were out there and they were attacking. I see footprints that look like they're walking bipedal. And these footprints are huge. They're bigger than I've ever seen. These are huge footprints. But none of the dogs were over 40 pounds. Well, they try to cover that up because they come back and they say, well, this is what the sheriff says about them being looking like they're bipedal. Okay, we'll get to that. Y'all are going to love this. Okay, the bodies were found by Jehovah's Witnesses. The bodies were found next to their vehicle on a gravel road close to their house. Okay, deputies said whenever they arrived to examine the bodies to the crime scene, and this is another flaw I found because I worked with law enforcement and security all my life, they had to fire a warning shot into the air to scare the dogs off. Okay, number one, I've got 2 things to say about this. Number one, law enforcement officers are taught never to fire a round for a warning shot, okay? And the reason they're taught that is because every bullet that leaves your gun has to be documented. It has to have a report, and that bullet has to be documented. Every round you fire on duty from your service weapon has to be documented. They don't fire warning shots. It's not protocol, and it definitely was taught against where I worked. Number 2, I seen this happen with a Rottweiler firing a weapon into the air to try to scare off a wild animal can, and I'm saying can, cause that animal to become aggressive and to attack. There's dogs I've seen attack only when a lawnmower's running, a chainsaw's running, a weed eater's running. It hurts their ears and they attack. It's bad practice. The neighbor I found very interesting in her statement. She says, remember they're saying the old lady, the 69, she went for the walk. The elderly man, at 77, he went for the walk. Or he didn't go for a walk. He went to find her from her walk at 3 a.m. in the morning, right? Well, a neighbor says that she saw them both leaving the car at 3 a.m. in the morning. So I'm believing more what the neighbor said, because the neighbor is saying, I seen them leave at 3 a.m. in the morning together. They were found on a dirt road not far from their house. Their bodies were close to the vehicle, okay? So whenever I got to thinking about that, it kind of brought back the doctor that was attacked and, killed on the highway we done. That, we kind of wondered, did something lure her out? Did she see something? Was something pretending to be hurt, So something, in my opinion, it caused them to stop their car on this back road, get out of their vehicle, and at least try to examine, explore, or try to find out what was going on, or something caught their attention. And it may have been a luring act that they do, a baby crying. One of them could have been laying there acting like it was hurt. I mean, they do a lot of this luring. Don't ever get out of your car at night. If you see something suspicious, call 911, turn it into the authorities, let them go check it out. They're a lot better equipped, and don't jeopardize yourself or your family. It's not worth it. Make sure you go home. Anyways, the neighbor had said that they seen them leave at 3 a.m. in the morning. The authorities also did not follow their lead. It was dismissed. That's 2. It's been dismissed. 2 witnesses. Not by a court, but by law enforcement, which we're not supposed to dismiss anything. We're supposed to take account, observe, and report everything, and then turn it over to the court. My opinion was, or where I worked, deemed what was necessary and what was not necessary. But anyways, this is the part that's probably going to aggravate a lot of you guys. It took 90 minutes to euthanize all 16 dogs, all 20 cats, and 5 puppies. None of these had DNA proof that they were the culprits. None of these, it's aggravating, and the necrocroppies had anything in their stomach, intestines, or in their fecal matter to suggest that they had attacked or eaten either one of them. But they were all euthanized quickly, within 90 minutes. Now here's another part. The sheriff directed that all carcasses be cremated immediately. He wanted them cremated immediately. From Oklahoma to all around these states that we're finding all these attacks where these dogs are being blamed, they are cremating them immediately. I usually don't suggest things to you guys because I like to see what y'all are thinking so I can kind of learn with you guys. And I don't like to say things and try to, make you all think the way I think. That way we're getting different opinions. But I'm going to throw this out there. Is what they're cremating dogs? Leave me something in the comments. Let me know what you think. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations even made a release, and they stated that there is a lot of strange things happening in Lexington right now. There's a lot of strange things going on. And there is heavy woods in the area. After all this happened, and all the dogs, what they are calling what done this, were euthanized and cremated at the direction of the sheriff immediately. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation stated that everyone should keep their head, listen to this, to the horizon and not looking down while walking. They should make sure that they know their area and what is around them in their area. And if you see anything out of the normal, do not explore, investigate, but to call local law enforcement. How many times have we heard that after they've caught what it was? After this had happened, the presence of the military showed up in Lexington, the National Guard, for 1 week as they practiced drills with helicopters, Humvees, small armored vehicles. Rounds were fired into the woods with spotlights, helicopters, but the town was made aware that these were only blanks and they were using it as a simulation. 1 week. Here's another one I'm going to throw out there to you guys. I want to hear in the comments. Was they simulating or taking care of the problem? But guys, I found this one and I felt it was pretty interesting. I felt it needed to be put out there. I hope you all enjoy it. It's sad. I hate to see people lose their lives, and then I hate to see flaws and holes. But this one was pretty easy to see the holes in it. But anyways, another thing we're working on right now, Sarah is planning, we done a video a while back. It's called What Lies Beneath. It's about the Crybaby Creek in Oklahoma. We've done a lot of looking at crybaby bridges. There seems to be a crybaby bridge in almost every town, every state. This crybaby bridge, though, is kind of unique, as the part is, they believe, or we believe, we're going to have to look to prove it, but we're going to make a trip, but we believe right now that we found maybe the grave of the mother and the child, that this may be the real deal. This bridge now has been shut down. It's not accessible now by vehicles, but they are allowing people to walk to it, but it is set for demolition this year. So we do want to get there and kind of explore it. They say you will definitely have encounters there. There is other, and I'm not a ghost hunter, spirit hunter, any of that. I don't mess with that in that way, but so people say that there was a Bigfoot living down underneath the bridge, and they believe it might have kind of been the culprit in this. So we're going to go down and kind of see like what's going on before it's destroyed and everything. But every investigator that has went from cryptid to haunted places to people that do all this, they have had encounters every time they went there. One man actually stated he will never return back there. So yeah, we're going to be heading there. I hope you all will enjoy that one. We'll see what goes on. We're going to go to the cemetery there and try to find the headstones and see if we can locate it. But as usual, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel, and hopefully we'll get something in our investigations. We've been out looking, but It's been very quiet. Nothing's happening, and if nothing happens, I've got nothing to put out there. I mean, I I can't make it happen. I wish I could, but that's where we're at, and we'll keep going out until we get something. Be careful, guys. God bless you guys, and glad to have each and every one of you.